because you traveled a lot when you were in the military, right? So
Yeah.
you decided, okay, I want to be a painter. But then why did you end up in the military?
All right. Well, uh, there was I wasn't the best student. Let's just say that, and my grades weren't entirely up to par. And so I knew that I did want to go to an art school, but art school is so expensive. And I come from a big family. I come from there's eight of us. There's eight kids. I was number seven, and
Mhm.
it was my dad was working in construction, and even though he did make um, a decent amount of money for at that time, that's 1970s, 80s. You know, to feed eight kids and try to get them into college was a bit difficult. So, and also they didn't speak English entirely well enough to, let's say, maybe try to guide me through seeking grants or whatever it might be to be able for me to attend a certain art school. So, anyhow, I went to the counselor that we had. I went to a private Catholic school, and I went to the counselor and looks at my grades and says, "You ever think about going into the military?" And so I was I was kind of insulted, but uh, there was just how I didn't know. It was a dream to be able to think that I was going to be able to get into an art school as much as I wanted to go
Mhm.
into one. So I thought, she mentioned that it was actually she mentioned that they have the GI Bill and they can help you, you know, put some money together to attend college later on. Okay, so I took that advice and I did. I went in and joined the military. I was very young. I was 17. I had my parents sign the forms for me because I was under 18. I turned 18 in boot camp, and I followed that path. So it was a bit of a detour. Oddly
Mhm.
enough, I when I was in boot camp, they we're all lined up, and we have to speak in third person, and it was very odd. But either way, the drill instructor says any of you recruits know how to draw, and so you know this private does, sir. And so anyhow, there was like three of us, and he made us all draw a bulldog, which is the Marine Corps mascot. And so eventually, I won the contest, and I was known as the artist private.
Oh, nice.
Right. So I was the artist private, so I got to design our flag, and what else? It was a few things. Anyhow, there was times when I didn't have to go and do some PT because I was doing the artwork for our battery. But a funny story while I was in boot camp, I remember it was about 3 in the morning, and I'm shaken awake, and drill instructor's about this far away from my face, and like, oh no, what did I do?
Mm.
And we're all in our bunks, and so he says recruit. He says, I need you in my office, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so busted. I have no idea what I did. So, so I went to the office there in the barracks, and he says, it's my anniversary, and I need a card. Can you draw me something? I said,
Yeah.
sure, absolutely. So and so there it was. It's about 3:30 in the morning,
Oh
and I'm
boy.
drawing an anniversary card for his wife. And
Oh.
the perk of that was that I remember everybody's getting up and they're gonna go do PT at about 4 in the morning, and they're all looking at me in the office, and there I am on his desk, and they're just looking at me odd like, what is going on with this guy? And so, yeah, I spent the next 4 hours because I wanted to do it nice and slow, do a real nice job. It was just with just a pencil. And it would look more like a
Mhm.
tattoo than anything else because it had the
Oh,
heart, the banner, and the daisies.
oh my God.
And so it was very odd. But yeah, and I got to go eat at the officers' chow hall. Now, the officers' chow hall is very different from the recruit boot camp chow
Mhm.
hall, and it was something else. It was like living in the lap of luxury when you go into this chow hall because they have the Jello spreads, and they have all the good food, right? Where you didn't get the slop that you were getting at the regular chow hall. So that was a nice little perk. But uh, anyhow, that turned into me illustrating and doing some work for some of the for the Marine Leatherneck, for the Leatherneck magazine. I had started doing some pen and ink drawings, and eventually I served in Desert Storm, where I was doing some sketches for historical reference. And so I did get to do some art in the military after all. And
Yeah.
as soon as I got out, I did 6 years both active and reserve. I found the School of Associates in Art, which was in Sherman Oaks, and that's where I started really digging into my talent that I didn't have. So I learned a lot. I did. I learned a lot, but I spent a good majority of the day there. And when I wasn't taking classes, I was trying to help out in the school, whatever it might be, so that I was able to be surrounded by such amazing talent.